Hi, and welcome back to the Crown Sessions, where passion, knowledge, and development thrive. I'm Jessica, your Jess of all trades, and we are back with another video for you today. Are you a small business owner or someone who's looking to get into business, but you just don't know where to start and you don't know how much capital you need to start your business? Well, if so, then this video is for you. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so let's jump right in. This is the sheet the sheets that literally has made me successful in managing my brick and mortar business. And I love this workbook because not only did it help me manage how I was using my funds and what my sources of funds were going to be from the start, but it also took me to today. I still use this workbook up to today to manage my entire budget for my business and every piece of that budget. So today on this workbook, I am going to be showing you the sources and uses of funds. Last month in our planning videos, I talked about the steps to opening your business. And one of those steps was gaining access to capital. And so this is how I determined how much capital I needed in order to be successful at starting and opening my business. And so if this is something that you're interested in having, keep watching. And we're going to jump right in. So this first portion of the worksheet is the owner's capital injection, or basically it's the sources of funds. So the owner's capital injection, meaning no sweat, meaning it's like what you're putting into it from your own pocket. And if you guys recall, if you watched the planning video, I believe it was part 2, I talked about how I came about getting the capital for my startup, and that I had a little bit of money saved. Well, this was that amount of money that I had saved in order to assist in the startup of my business. And then the other piece was a private loan, which I received a total amount of $66,828. So my savings included with the loan that I received was a total of $72,000 that I had to put towards the start of my business. So now down here is how I kept track of the use of my funds. And so just like I discussed in the build out video that I did last week, and if you haven't watched the build out video, please do watch it. You can watch it after this video, but please do watch that as well if you are looking forward to opening a brick and mortar business. But this is where I pretty much estimated how much I would need for each of these line items. And so what I did was, same as I talked about in the build out video, is I went ahead and searched online. The first one was my tenant improvements. And so I searched all over online, from construction to electrical to plumbing, and estimated what I think that would look like based on what I was finding online for the products that would be needed in order to execute that, to the build out materials, and also what I thought would be appropriate for the labor. And so that's where the build out amount was here for basically what I was guesstimating that I would need for that cost. Purchasing a building, I talked about this too in our planning discussion in part 2. If you are purchasing a building, then of course this line item would be much more. But I did recommend leasing a spot for your first brick and mortar, because you can get in and get out if need be, and it's not as as much of a long commitment as purchasing a building is. All right, so let's move on. Now down here you'll see the lease, like how much I'm spending on lease, and I put in the notes that I want to have at least an 8-month reserve for rent, and I was calculating my rent to be no more than $14.56 a month. So I wanted to have at least an 8-month jump start. That's really important, you guys, and I can go more into detail about that if you want to learn a little bit more about budgeting for your startup of your business. Please do comment down below, but this is really just an overview of how I did this. The next line item is utilities. Once again, I estimated my utilities to be about $330 a month. That would be for electricity, cable, phone, internet, all of that. And also I wanted to have an 8-month jump start. So I put aside that 8 months worth, which came out to $26.40. Same for my advertising. I estimated that I would need about $900 per month. And there's my reserve for advertising. Computers and electronics, this is what I was giving myself to spend on that stuff. Equipment was anything that I was using to perform the business there. So the hair dryers, all of that. Payroll. So I did plan on hiring someone to be a receptionist and help me out. And so I also wanted to ensure that I was putting aside the expenses for the service, not to pay that person. You'll see that below, but that's actually for the service of bookkeeping the payroll. The furniture, that was everything else. So, the reception desk, the regular desk, anything else that furnished my business. The inventory, I wanted to make sure I had at least a 4-month supply of inventory, which if you guys didn't know, we carry hair extensions. So I wanted to ensure that we had enough inventory to get the business started and rolling. Office supplies, I estimated at about $500. I already had my doing business as and my logo design. If you guys want more information on how I did that, comment down below. And then any permits and licensing, I only needed a business license for the city that I'm operating out of, so that's $100. And then the liability and workers' comp, that's because I did plan on having an employee, completely separate from the payroll service and expense. The liability and workers' comp actually cost about $32 a month, so I wanted to make sure I had some money saved for an 8-month reserve for that. Phone and internet is listed above, so I basically made sure that I had that line item listed here, and I notated where it was listed so that I'm not confusing myself. And then I wanted to put aside at least a 5-month reserve for my receptionist. And I'm paying her at $13.50 per hour, or I was paying her at $13.50 per hour for 24 hours a week. You see how detailed I'm being? Because when you lack details, you guys, there is so much room for error, and that can cause a lot of loss and unexpected expenses that can come up that can just throw a wrench in everything you have going on. So ensure that you are being as detailed as possible in that, you guys. And then the last is my business sign and business cards, but the majority of this expense was for the sign that went out on the front of the building to let people know that we are here. And so all of that totaled to the amount of funds that I have to use towards my startup, which is $72,288. Okay. So this is just a quick overview of how I did that and how I made my budget for my startup. And once again, if you haven't seen last week's video on build out and you want to learn more about how I, build out a budget, there's a whole separate budget for that. I think I have that here. No, it's here. But you'll see I created a template that lists out literally all of my expenses by category for the build out. Here I have it listed as tenant improvements, but it's the same thing. So if you want to learn more and go deeper for that, you definitely comment below, or actually go visit and see that video that I did there. Also, I have not just this template, but literally every single template that you would need to manage your startup and your profit and loss for the first 3 years of business, including how to manage your amortization of your loan if you received a loan. So literally, guys, if you want access to this entire workbook and you don't want to, pay somebody to do this for you, and you want a little bit more clarification on how to do this once you've purchased the workbook, go ahead and click the link in the description. I will be selling this template on our website under digital products. And so you can go ahead and click that link and pick this up today. This is for our people who are serious about opening their business. You don't necessarily need to be opening a brick and mortar business. It can be any business that you can use this entire workbook for. And you can also use this workbook to incorporate into your business plan when you are going to submit for capital. So if you're looking for something like that, we will have it on our website under digital products. You can also click the link below and it'll take you directly there. And let me know if you guys want a little bit more info on how to use that template once you've downloaded it, and I can probably make something good for you, like a free, not a free, but if you purchase that template, then I can go ahead and do a course for you guys on how to use the entire workbook. I hope this was beneficial to you guys, and we'll see you soon. I hope this content was beneficial to you and your business. If so, go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button for more post notifications. And if you're looking for more templates just like this, go ahead and head to our website. I will link it down below in our description box. And let me know what you thought about this today down in the comments, guys. I want to know more about what you're looking for and what type of information you need to be successful in building your business. That's all for today. Have a great one. Bye.
And we are going to help our customers by doing and selling things. And that's what we're going to do for commanding our things. Thank you. Bye. Bye.